Today is March 9, 2024. Our reflection is entitled Heart of True Worship, Humility and Sincerity. First reading, Hosea chapter 6, verses 1-6. Come, let us return to the Lord. It is He who has rent, but He will heal us. He has struck us, but He will bind our wounds. He will revive us after 2 days. On the third day He will raise us up, to live in His presence. Let us strive to know the Lord. As certain as the dawn is His coming, and His judgment shines forth like the light of day. He will come to us like the rain, like spring rain that waters the earth. What can I do with you, Ephraim? What can I do with you, Judah? Your piety is like a morning cloud, like the dew that early passes away. For this reason I smote them through the prophets, I slew them by the words of my mouth. For it is love that I desire, not sacrifice, and knowledge of God rather than burnt offerings. Gospel. Luke chapter 18, verses 9-14. Jesus addressed this parable to those who were convinced of their own righteousness and despised everyone else. 2 people went up to the temple area to pray. One was a Pharisee and the other was a tax collector. The Pharisee took up his position and spoke this prayer to himself, "O God, I thank you that I am not like the rest of humanity, greedy, dishonest, adulterous, or even like this tax collector. I fast twice a week, and I pay tithes on my whole income." But the tax collector stood off at a distance and would not even raise his eyes to heaven but beat his breast and prayed, "O God, be merciful to me a sinner." I tell you, the latter went home justified, not the former, for everyone who exalts himself will be humbled, and the one who humbles himself will be exalted. Today's readings offer profound insights into the nature of true worship, emphasizing the importance of humility and sincerity in our relationship with God. In the first reading from the book of Hosea, we are reminded of the value of returning to the Lord with contrite hearts. The prophet calls upon the people to acknowledge their need for God's mercy and forgiveness, recognizing that genuine worship springs from a humble and repentant spirit rather than empty rituals or sacrifices. The Gospel further illuminates this theme through the parable of the Pharisee and the tax collector. Jesus contrasts the attitudes of these 2 individuals in their approach to prayer. While the Pharisee boasts of his righteousness and looks down upon others, the tax collector humbly acknowledges his sinfulness and pleads for God's mercy. Jesus makes it clear that it is the tax collector, not the Pharisee, who goes home justified before God, highlighting the importance of humility in true worship. Together, these readings challenge us to examine the condition of our hearts in our worship and devotion to God. They remind us that external displays of piety are meaningless if not accompanied by genuine humility and sincerity. True worship flows from a heart that recognizes its own brokenness and dependence on God's grace, leading to a life characterized by love, compassion, and justice. Today, I will reflect on the nature of true worship as revealed in the readings. I will examine my own attitudes and motivations in my prayer life and spiritual practices, asking God to reveal any areas where pride or self-righteousness may have crept in. I will strive to cultivate a spirit of humility and sincerity in my worship, approaching God with honesty and vulnerability. I will extend grace and compassion to others, recognizing that we are all in need of God's mercy and forgiveness. If you found this video meaningful, I invite you to show your support by hitting the like, subscribe and share button, as this will help us reach more people with these reflections. Together, we can create a community that seeks wisdom and spiritual growth.